This is the Sports Sit Down with Mike Damergis.
Mike Damergis here with Malik Allen, a free agent defensive end and linebacker who will be tending the combine this week. Malik, you got to be excited about this.
Yeah, I'm very excited, man. This is the opportunity of a lifetime.
And what preparation have you done to get ready for this? Because like you said, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is something since you're a little kid that you've been dreaming of, literally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I've been training. I do 2 regiments a day. I get up at 5:30. From 5:30 to 8 o'clock, I do a training session, workout session, strength training. Then about from 5 or 6 in the evening, I do speed training. So it's like 2 times a day. I get it in, man.
Do you do the Rocky thing, get up in the morning, break the eggs and drink the raw eggs and stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely do. Well, it's whey protein for me.
Yeah. Talk about the diet you have now. You're a defensive lineman. Well, you consider a defensive end or more of a linebacker?
More of a defensive end. I play both. Like in certain situations, I'm standing up. In certain situations, I got my hand in the ground. So, and then certain situations, I have to cover the running backs coming out the backfield, or I have an area that I have to cover. But most likely, I really have my hand down going for the quarterback.
Yeah, linebackers have it tough because they have to be quick enough to get the backs out of the backfield, but they have to be big enough to shed the tackles of the offensive lineman. What kind of techniques do you use as a defensive end or a linebacker to shed the offensive lineman?
Well, I really like to use my speed. That's the most important thing to me. Speed is beating them off the ball, getting that first step off the ball. And then I really like to use my hands violently, getting the inside leverage on them before they can on me, creating space so they won't be able to touch me too much.
Yeah, I got it. So you went to a community college, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's got to be even more difficult to get noticed going to a community college as opposed to some of the bigger name players. And some of the bigger names don't even want to attend the combine. So this might be an opportunity for you to get recognized if less players come from the bigger schools.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It definitely will, and it definitely is. And some of the guys that come from out of my school has actually made it to the NFL and made it to play professional ball. So a couple receivers and linebackers and all. Actually, I played on the team with them, so it was like, yeah, I know it was able to happen.
Dreams do come true for players that get the opportunity. And this is sort of an opportunity for guys like you. And let's be honest, pro football, they make their mistakes. The NFL makes plenty of mistakes with their draft picks and they overlook players. So this is an opportunity for you and some of the other players that might get overlooked. And you have these new spring leagues coming up with the USFL this spring and the XFL next spring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm so excited because it's more opportunity for us, for the players, like you said, that have gotten overlooked to get looked at again and have a chance to get in the professional level.
Now, if we look at your game, who do you compare to? Like, who do you want to emulate? And who was your hero growing up? Who did you want to emulate?
Aaron Donald.
I was going to say, Donald. I saw you, and I thought of Aaron Donald, the size and the stoutness and everything.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's a lot of people say that me and him match up just alike. I emulate my game off, and I love that speed and how he uses his hands off the ball, that quickness off the ball. I try to emulate that every time.
Now we've seen Tony Romo do these broadcasts, and he could pretty much predict the play by the way the offense is setting up and everything. Does the defense, do you get a sense of what play is coming from the offensive line? Any hints or the quarterback's eyes or something like that? How do you read that? Or are you just ready to go on the snap?
Most of the times I'm ready to go on the snap is just reaction. But sometimes you can see, I could tell when the offensive lineman, if he's heavy on the hand, it's going to be a run, or if he's light on his hands, it's going to be a pass. But most likely it's really all reaction. There's no way unless you got to really watch film. But even when you watch film, the offense has changed up everything. And so it's just really a reaction. Defense is really a reaction game.
We saw in the Super Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow got sacked 6 times in the second half. What did you see? Adjustments did you see the Rams defensive make? And why did the Bengals offensive line, well, they had trouble all year. I mean, like we said, he got sacked 70 times during the season. What did you see in the adjustment that the Rams made in the second half?
Really, the second half, I see that they dialed up a lot more. They had a lot more pressure. They had blitzes, created more one-on-one situations for the defensive linemen rather than getting double teamed and triple teamed. They created a lot of one. They made it where everybody had to be one-on-one. So, and mostly in the Rams, they matched up way better than the Cincinnati Bengals offensive lineman did. It's hard to block those guys one-on-one. That whole D-line is hard to. One-on-one, you got to double team every last one of them. So
well, I grew up in the 80s watching the Chicago Bears defense and the New York Giants defense with Lawrence Taylor. And they used to beat the best quarterbacks. They used to beat the crap out of the best quarterbacks. Go look at the highlights of Joe Montana getting knocked out of games by Jim Burt and Leonard Marshall and everything. About how many times does it take for you to realize a quarterback is skittish and needs to throw the ball away before he gets hit? But how many times? And can the defense sense that in a quarterback? Oh, we got this guy now.
The first play. The first time I get there, and I said the first play, well, when I get to the backfield and I see in his eyes as I'm coming to him, his eyes get bucked and he just curl up. Oh, I know I got him.
And then at some point, the quarterback starts to fear footsteps as well, too, later in the game. So how many times does a quarterback need to get hit, though, before they get real skittish? Would you say 3, 5 to 6 times, you think?
About 3 or 4. You give them 3 or 4 good ones, they ready to curl up, throw the ball away. You mess with their head.
So we're talking with Malik Allen, free agent defensive end linebacker, going to be at the Combine this week, making plans for that. What have you heard about the Combine, and what are you hoping to show?
I'm hoping to show my 40 time, man. I want to show everybody how the quickness, the speed that I have. Put that on display. And the AL drill, really the quick direction drills, I'm really to show that how fast I can move and how good and well I can stay low and move during certain situations.
So you're really on the precipice of a dream here, going to the Combine and hopefully maybe seeing if an NFL team sees something in you. Talk about growing up and, to get to this point here, and who influenced you growing up? Who was there for you? Coaches, family members? Do you remember going out in the backyard pretending to be other players and stuff? Tell us a little about your childhood, Malik.
Well, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. My grandmother really, I stayed at my grandmother's house for most part of my years with me and my mom, my grandmother, my uncle. So about 7 of us grew up in the house together. And really my uncle was my inspiration, man, because he played for Alabama A&M. And he ended up getting paralyzed, hurt, so he couldn't play no more. So I took on his legacy and kept it going. And he taught me everything I know. That was my inspiration to football.
He got paralyzed playing football or outside of football?
No, it was a situation outside of football that caused him, so he couldn't continue. He was in his 3rd year in college.
Oh my
God!
So
he couldn't continue. So I said, well, I'm gonna make sure I make it all the way for us. He actually died. He actually died a few years back. So this is why I had to make this happen for him.
I'm sorry to hear that. So what are some words of wisdom he gave you, Malik?
Don't quit. Don't quit. No matter how hard it is, don't quit. It's going to be light at the end of the tunnel.
So what conversations are you having with your family right now before you go to the Combine, and how are you staying focused for this monumentous event for you?
I'm just telling everybody that the time is coming. The time I've been talking about all my life is finally here, and everybody's excited, man. And they rooting for me, and I know I'm gonna do good. So I'm rooting for myself too.
Well, go back and go on YouTube. So I know that's your generation's thing. Go watch some highlights of the '85 Chicago Bears, what they did to their opponents. They not only beat their opponents, you're talking over 60, 70 sacks in the season they had during that '80s run. They knocked quarterbacks out of the game. Quarterbacks did not want to take the field against them.
Wow. I know that was a sight to see back in the '80s. I'm gonna definitely look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Dent, Otis Wilson, Mike Singletary, Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, Wilbur Marshall, all the great Bears defense in the 1980s really captured the enthusiasm of the country. So Malik, thank you so much for joining us for these couple of minutes, and best of luck at the Combine. We really wish you the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Football fans, get ready. The USFL is coming back after almost 40 years. That's right, the teams you loved in the 80s.
They're taking the field again.
Get ready as kickoff is April 16th.
Babe, the USFL is back. Get my jersey ready. Hey, babe, it's still free. Football fans, get ready. The USFL is coming back after almost 40 years. That's right, the teams you loved in the 80s.
They're taking the field again. Get ready as kickoff is April 6th.
Babe, the USFL is back. Get my jersey ready.